Hi, I'm Film Club reporter Andre, and welcome to the 4th week of National Storytelling Week.
And hello, I'm Claire. I'm from the schools team here at Film Club, and we like to say a big hello to the schools that are watching out there. So hello to Holbrook Primary School in Horsham, and hello to Old Hall Junior School. Now, if any of you schools would like to get in touch during the webcast, the Twitter and the email information should be at the bottom of the screen now. So do feel free to get in touch and ask us anything that you'd like to. Now, for you club leaders out there who are watching, to celebrate National Storytelling Week, we've put together a teaching resource that you can download from our website. So just make sure you have a look at that. But today, Andre and I are very excited to be interviewing George Mackay, actor and screenplay writer Simon Reade, aren't we, Andre?
Yep. We're here to talk about Simon and George working on their new film, Michael Morpurgo's Private Peaceful. So let's get started. Hi Simon, hi George.
Hiya.
And welcome to the Film Club webcast studio.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, pleased to be here.
Yeah.
Simon, could you give us a brief synopsis of the film?
Can I give you a brief? You should be giving us a brief synopsis of it. I mean, anyone who's read the book will know that the story. It's basically of a young boy growing up in rural Devon, and he falls in love with the same girl that his brother falls in love with, and his dad gets killed, and all sorts of awful things happen to him. So that when the First World War comes along, he wants to get away. He wants to go and fight. He thinks it'll be a heroic thing to do, and he can leave everything behind. He goes off to the war. His brother comes with him, and life only gets worse.
OK, well, Holly from Old Hall Junior School. Hello, Holly. She wants to ask Simon, why did you choose to make Private Peaceful into a film when Michael Morpurgo has written so many books? Great question, Holly.
Hi, Holly. Very good question. Yeah, Michaal's made a lot of... he's had films, obviously, of quite a few of his things made before, but I think Private Peaceful, for me, was because it's the story of this young boy growing up in a mad adult world where all the adults behave like children, and the children actually the only people that think like adults. And it was really moving, and it was an important story to tell. And the other thing is that I think anything that is about just terrible things like war, you want to tell to as many people as possible so that we will stop going out and carrying on and fighting and doing all these daft things that people do.
Okay. We're just going to watch a short clip of Private Peaceful. This is where the young brothers first meet Molly.
Yeah, this is a great clip. So for schools out there, firstly, what I want you to do is try and see how many boys and girls you can spot playing tug of war. And do you think the boys will win or the girls will win? Have a look.
Queen of the Amazons. Eh? Molly Monks. My father's the colonelcy gamekeeper.
Oh. Where are you from?
Peru.
What? This is my little brother, Tomo.
I'm nearly 11. Hello, Tomo.
She's called Molly, and she's from Peru.
Her?
And I'm Charlie Peaceful, age 13.
Meet Charlie in the barley for a parley.
This is my older brother, Big Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Pleased to meet you, peaceful brothers. What did your father do? He was the colonel's gamekeeper. I see.
He's dead.
Dad's dead.
I'm sorry.
Hooray to the girls! I think that's brilliant. I think the girls at Film Club will definitely win, wouldn't they, Andre?
No way.
No way?
Yep.
No, I'm not sure about that. Did you have a question for the guys?
This is a question either of you could answer, but who are your favourite characters in the film and why?
Tomo, for sure. It's got to be Tomo. It's the best one. No, I think favourite characters, I mean, obviously I have a sort of personal affection and relationship for Tomo. I think the reason I have that is because I related to him most. From my own personal experiences and sort of views on life, really. So for me, he was someone who immediately was close to my heart. So probably, yeah, Tomo being my most favourite. Also Sergeant Hanley, although he's is a very mean,
your alter ego,
nasty character. Yeah, it's the dark side. But he's just such polar opposite, and he's quite complex in how rigid he is, which I think is quite an interesting concept for someone so fixed in their ways. It's because he's got so much going on underneath that. So I think that's an interesting quality to a person as well.
Okay, well, Phoebe from Old Hall Junior School, hello Phoebe, she asked, at what age did you start training to act, and what advice would you give to young actors trying to get into the business?
Hiya Phoebe. I was 10 years old when I got my first job, and I wasn't training for it, but I was very lucky. A casting lady called Shaheen Bey came around my school, and I must have looked lost because she picked out about 20 boys to go for an audition for Lost Boys, and for the film Peter Pan. And I was always into drama, and I did the drama classes at school, I did performing arts option at school, so that was something I was always very interested in and enjoyed a lot. But it was from that I went along to the audition, and I was lucky enough to get called back a number of times, and then I got the part. And from then on, I got an agent, which is someone who will help you get the auditions, which is very important. And I was again very lucky because that usually happens later on. So I was very fortunate with that. And I guess training-wise, I've trained constantly at school and with sort of extracurricular options and stuff at school. But I think just to be involved in as much stuff as possible, all the school plays. Helping other people's projects, media projects at school if anyone ever needed an actor, all that kind of thing. Watching lots of plays and films if you can, just DVDs. Trust your parents; they know some good films as well. So yeah, that would be, and then you train on the job as well. I mean, getting to work with other actors and seeing how they do it is a very important part of learning as well. So.
Caleb from Old Hall Junior School asks Simon, what was your favourite scene in the film and why?
Hi Helen. Well, I've got two favourite scenes actually, and for totally separate reasons. One is a scene that we totally made up. You won't find it in the book, but the director and I, Pat O'Connor, came up with this idea that just before the boys went off to war, there'd be a village hall dance, and even when I watch it now, and it was a long evening when we were filming it, and I've watched it in the edit and everything, but now when I watch it, I find it very moving, and a tear comes to my eye. And my other favourite scene is a scene that is in the book, and it's not favourite because I think it's funny or all the rest of it, but it's the scene with the firing squad at the end, because it's the most devastating scene, and there's a wonderful moment just after he's been shot where you see the people who've shot him, you see them breathing and they're kind of snorting like horses, and it's totally silent, and the music has been building up to that moment and everything, and suddenly everything stops. And I think for me, when we shot that, it was actually it was a very sad morning, and people found it very, very difficult to carry on with the rest of their working day, actually.
Okay, so we're going to watch the second clip of the film, and this is where Tommy decides that he's in love with Molly and decides to tell his brother.
Molly. Wait.
Make yourself scarce.
Wait, come here.
I miss you. Both.
Come here. Come here. Come on, girls. That's right. Right, there's one. There's one. There's one. There's two. There's two. Come on in, girl. Bring her around. That's it. I'll bring us another one. Bring us another one. That's it. Oh, girl. There she is. Oh, her. Look at this one. I think I'm in love. Pardon? I think I'm in love. Well, which one, her? You're far too young to be in love, Tomo. All right, boy.
Okay, George, what was your relationship with your brother in the film, and was it hard putting the emotions towards him?
Well, the relationship between Tomo and Charlie within the story is one that's very close, and Tomo both idolises and sort of feels, jealous is one word of Charlie, but I think he idolises him so much, and there's a lovely quote in the book which said, I didn't live in his shadow, I lived in his light, which was a nice way of putting it. So it was a thing of complete adoration, but also a real frustration that Charlie was always the faster, the stronger. He got the girl. He was just naturally sort of so talented at everything, and all the reasons that he had to love for him were also the reasons he had to be frustrated by him. And I mean, when we were acting it in the film, that came very naturally because I adored Jack, who played Charlie, and we spent a lot of time together. And we had an 8-week shoot, and the first 2 weeks it was just me and Jack, and we were filming in the middle of nowhere, so we spent all our time together, and we became very close very quickly. And so I mean that only kind of got stronger throughout the shooting period. So it wasn't far from the truth, the characters and real life. So that was easy to portray.
And Libby from Old Hall Junior School asks both of you, what was the funniest thing that happened on set? Because I know you had animals and big sets and designs. What was the funniest thing that happened?
The funniest thing that happened?
That's interesting, Libby, that you want to know the funniest thing. I think. Do you know what? It was a lot of fun, and making film can be a lot of fun. And sometimes the funniest things are also the most painful things, like when it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you've been up all night, and the sun is about to come up, but you're supposed to be shooting a night scene, and you want to see if you can stop the sun from coming up. Those are the sorts of situations. But I mean, there were quite a few. Yeah, there was funny moments.
There was one that it's one of those ones, when you look back on it, it's funnier because when John Lynch, who plays Horrible Hanley, turned up, we were all genuinely a bit scared of him, and we did this earlier scene where there's an explosion and Sergeant Hanley's blown across this bunker that we're all sitting in, and we did that for about 4 times, and I think for the first 3 times John got hit on the head in different ways. So not only has he been blown apart, he then, when all the boys tried to help him up, the rifles fell off their shoulder and hit him in the head. Then on the next take, when they pulled him out of the bunker, he smacked his head on the roof as well. And he was very good and didn't get cross, but we were all a bit terrified of him anyways. So I was glad that I wasn't the one picking him up and banging his head. So.
But it was almost anything that Grandma Wolfe, Frances de la Tour, was in, was very funny to shoot, because she's as funny off camera as she is on camera.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're going to watch a clip, are we, Andre?
Yeah. Okay, so see you soon.
Yeah, we're going to watch a final clip of the film when we see an army sergeant trying to recruit new soldiers to go and fight in the war.
If we don't beat them at their own game, they'll gobble us up as well. Well? Do you want the Hun here? No! Do you? No! Shall we blast them to kingdom come? Yes! Then we shall need you. And all the brave lads out in France need you too. And remember one thing, lads, and I can vouch for this. All the ladies love a soldier. Go on! Hey, now who'll be the first brave lad to come and take the king's shilling? I'm looking for boys with hearts of oak. Lads who love their king and country. Men what hates the lousy Hun.
Go on, son. Go and fight. It's every man's duty to fight when his country calls. Go on. You're not a man. Coward! Coward! Coward!
Wow, so schools out there, how do you think you'd feel if you were in Tomo's situation? Do you think he looked scared, or do you think, you know, how you would feel in that situation? And I think, actually, I think we might have a voicemail question. Andre, could you do the honours for me, please?
Archie, age 10, from Heath Primary School, and my question is, your film is set during the war. How did you make it so realistic?
Okay, brilliant question, Archie. So that's Archie from Heath Primary School, and he wanted to know he said your film was set in World War I. How did you manage to make it realistic?
Well, really, we started by working with these amazing people called Khaki Devil, who are Taff and Tracy up near Ipswich, who have got all the kind of First World War memorabilia, all the First World War costumes, and they've even built, on this farm, they've built this trench system from the First World War. So, and they have lots of friends and people that come along and reenact First World War battles. So that was our main starting point. And then after that, we had a brilliant art director and a brilliant art team who were able, with the director, to explain to the actors about how to walk, how to talk, how to look, how to wear your hat, all that sort of thing. And that's really how we pulled it off, I think. Okay, brilliant. And I think one of you's got an identity tag that you can show us. You've got some memorabilia.
Yes. This is the dog tags is the equivalent to something like this. What they used to have in the trenches in the First World War. And as Simon was saying, a lot of the guys who we were with did reenactments, every week, and so a lot of them came with their own tools and things. So there was one of the men on set actually made this personally for us. Great. And this one has T Peaceful. I don't know if can you get Devonshire Company. Brilliant. And yeah, there's a series of metal sort of stamps really. They look like kind of very thick pens with a little letter on the end, and they come in a great little box and this hammer, and he sat there with it and he hammered each letter in, and everyone got this, and this is so for everyone's identification. So schools out there, every single soldier would have worn one of those identity tags. Now, we've got a quick quiz for you to answer very quickly. There should be a slide which is coming up on the screen for you to see now. Now, I want you schools to guess out there, no Googling, nobody going on iPhones. I want you to guess how many soldiers in total fought in the First World War. Was it 50,000, 1 million, or 65 million? Now, guess as quickly as you can, and then tweet in your answers, and we will read out the first tweet we get at the end of the webcast.
Okay, Jack from Old Hall Junior School in Derbyshire asks both of you, what other films are you involved in and what's coming up? Well, Jack, I was working over the summer, and there's another book that's a great young book is one called How I Live Now, which is written by Meg Rossoff, and it's the story of two cousins or a girl, Daisy, who comes to stay with her cousins, and two cousins who fall in love. And it's similarly, there's a World War III, for want of a better term, is going on. And that's being directed by someone who's been interviewed here before, Kevin MacDonald, who did Life in a Day and Last King of Scotland. So it's fantastic to work with a director like Kevin. And that's one of the films that I've been doing, and that should be out next year. Okay, well, just to let you know, Private Peaceful is a 12, so some of you viewers might not be able to watch it just yet, so you have to wait a little longer. But Film Club favourite, also starring George, Peter Pan, you can watch that, so do have a look at that. But Simon and George, thank you very much for coming in today, and thank you for answering all of our questions. Thank you for having us. And I think we've probably got a correct tweet answer. Do we have a tweet? I think that the correct answer to the question about how many soldiers fought in the First World War, I hope you guessed it correctly in your clubs, was 65 million in total. So imagine, you can't even fathom that number, can you really? But never fear if you didn't answer that one correctly. It's Film Club, so there's always another competition going on. Courtesy of Scholastic Book Club, we have a competition for you to win a bundle of prizes. So the prizes will be some cinema tickets, some DVDs, and a popcorn maker for your very own film club. All you have to do is write a review of a classic novel that has been turned into a film, and you can have a look at the website to find out how to do that. So I think that all that's left to do is to thank everyone for tuning in. Isn't that right, Andre? Okay, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed hearing from Simon and George. Please join us tomorrow when we interview Ian Banks about David Lean season. Bye. So thanks, George and Simon. Bye, everyone. Thanks very much. Bye. Bye.